What should we play today, Lily? Let's see here. How about one of the all-time greats, Terminal Velocity? When I go through my video game collection, few titles give me as much nostalgia as Terminal Velocity. It was one of the first truly good games that I played. It's one of the first games that I actually beat without cheat codes. It was a good game. It came out in 1995, and it's kind of an open world type flight simulator. It's not really a flight simulator because it doesn't follow the laws of physics at all. You fly around to each target and destroy them, and then you go to the next world. It's a pretty simple concept. It was the first game I ever played that had a radar mini-map that worked very well. It even showed the if the enemies were above or below you, the plus or a minus. It had a few weapons, nothing special. All the weapons were about the same effectiveness in my opinion. And they didn't last long, so you ended up keeping the same basic default weapon all the time. You had, I think it was 9 different worlds, maybe it was 10 worlds, or it was a hidden world, yeah. It was a hidden world, 10 worlds, each with 3 levels. At the end of the level you had a boss to beat. The bosses ranged from incredibly easy to fairly difficult. The game in a whole was easy, and that was one of the things I liked about it. As a beginning gamer, I was young, a lot of the games were way too hard. Even today, try beat Wolfenstein or try and beat Doom. It's not that easy. But this game made it easy to win. It had a easy mode that was honestly, you know, you can't lose at. And then the hard mode was difficult enough to be a challenge. There were some pretty technical advances to Terminal Velocity. One of the technical advances that I had never seen before was the tunnels. You had the open world flight, as most of the gameplay was, but then you could go through tunnels, and going in and out of these tunnels was pretty seamless. There was no load screens or anything like that. When you went into a tunnel, it had a slight pause, and then you'd go into the tunnel, and as you exited the tunnel, it was seamless. That's impressive even for today. Another interesting thing about Terminal Velocity was just its graphics as a whole were excellent. I absolutely loved, like right now you can see how you could fly above the clouds and fight. Sometimes, right here's not a really good example, but sometimes you'd have like 20 or 30 guys on your tail and flying around in the mountains. You know, if you had to worry about hitting the mountain and then, dogfighting, it was a little much, so I'd fly above the crowds, take them out, and then go back down to the objective. Another interesting thing that I remember of Terminal Velocity is that a lot of the ships resemble Star Wars. It was almost, I'm surprised they didn't get in trouble for it, because so many of the ships resemble, like, you even had TIE Fighter, you had the X-Wing clone, then you had the some of the ground ships looked exactly straight out of a Star Wars movie. So it was definitely influenced by Star Wars. This is an example of one of the bosses, and I'm not doing very good here, but later on I changed tactics, and you need to do short flybys instead of slowing down and beating them up. But anyway, this is a good game. I actually played it through, which is a big compliment to any game. I highly recommend this title to anyone that would like to relive old space simulators in their prime.